Hey guys, so I was doing that last video. I got a text from a buddy of mine who told me that one of my buddies, Blonde Bruce, local San Diego, Southern California, blues legend, passed away this morning, and Blonde Bruce was he was a legend in San Diego, Southern California. I unfortunately, never got to play with Bruce on stage. I got to play with him up at Moe's Guitars many times, hanging out in the guitar shop, and but there was one time where he was doing a show with the great Buddy Whittington, who was John Mayall's guitar player, and if you know anything about John Mayall, you know John Mayall knows how to pick guitar players, and Buddy Whittington is one of the greatest of them all, and one of my heroes. And so I was there watching this show, and Buddy Whittington found out I was there, and he kept calling for me to come up on stage, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. But Blonde Bruce took his guitar off and handed it to me, and let me take the stage, his stage. This was Blonde Bruce's show. It was just such a humble, gracious thing for him to do, to turn over his stage to me and let me have that moment with Buddy. And God, I'll never forget that as long as I live, man. It was just such a humble, gracious thing for Bruce to do. Unheard of, you know, for the guy who's doing the show to turn over his stage to somebody from the audience and to leave the stage. And Bruce was a legend. He was just a monster. He'd been around since the 70s here or before in Southern California and San Diego. He was just a legend here. He'd been through so much. He'd had a cancerous brain tumor that he had to have removed, and cancer had come back, and he'd been fighting it and had to have some more surgery, and had to have one of his, I believe it was a kidney, removed. He was a fighter, man. He was just a fighter. Never gave up, and just, man, he could play the guitar and sing, and he was just a monster. And I guess yesterday he was feeling pretty good, and he and his wife went to the San Diego Zoo, and they came home, and Bruce collapsed, and they took him to the hospital. And he was scheduled to have a stent put in today, and he passed away this morning at about 1:31, I think it was, this morning. And I just will never forget that gift he gave to me, and that humble, gracious act that he gave me. He was just such an amazing musician, and A fighter, just a fighter. He never gave up, man. He never ever gave up, and just a legend. Man was a legend, and I will never ever forget that gift that he gave to me. And as long as I live, I will treasure that moment that he gave to me. And Bruce, I'll miss you. Rest in peace, my friend, and I'll miss you, man. I will miss you. I will miss you. Rest in peace, buddy. God bless.